It's Ron Reader digs the universe. I'm Ron Reader, and this is Ron Reader Digs the Universe, and tonight, MAGA's Jeffrey Epstein problem. Last weekend, while Central Texas was still struggling with floodwaters, but before DHS Secretary and dog killer Kristi Noem was able to cut through her own recently instituted red tape prohibiting FEMA from responding to the disaster, Trump's Department of Justice released a curious unsigned statement as part of a Sunday night news dump asserting that convicted and suicided underage sex trafficker and pimp to the billionaires Jeffrey Epstein kept no client list for the purposes of blackmail, and that his suicide was in fact a suicide. Now, the Jeffrey Epstein case is extraordinarily important to a great deal of MAGA, and this turn of events has a lot of MAGA heads exploding comedically in an unprecedented show of dissent. Laura Ingraham, Steve Bannon, Tucker Carlson, Michael Flynn, Charlie Kirk, and numerous others all went on the record this past week saying that they do not believe the DOJ's assertions about Epstein and strongly urged President Trump to come clean. You know, I got to see some video footage of Alex Jones crying about the moral failure of the White House or some such. It was pretty funny and pretty cool. Political analysts are calling this blow-up a severe test of MAGA's loyalty. Trump promised to release the Epstein files, but he has refused to deliver. So, why are these Epstein files so important to MAGA that they would risk rousing their great leader's wrath? It must be understood that because conservatives lost the majority of legitimate political arguments on the facts long ago, conservatives have come to rely on mythological narrative as a replacement for fact. You know, big government, global warming hoax, liberal media, liberal universities, lazy welfare recipients, and so on. They live these stories in their heads like holy scripture, which become a key identity aspect uniting conservatives as a tribe. These are their stories. Two of these mythological narratives from the 80s, the notion that Democrats are baby killers because they support abortion rights, coupled with the satanic ritual abuse panic that happened back in the day. These two ideas sort of combined over the years into a single narrative that liberal elites kidnap children on an industrial scale for the purposes of sexual pleasure and the extraction of adrenochrome. Yeah, like I said, conservatives don't really do real issues anymore, and this is how they keep busy. They really do obsess on this shit. It's who they are. So Jeffrey Epstein is irresistible to them. Hedge fund trader who traffics children to the elites, and the elites killed him to keep him from talking. It fits right in. They're not going to let this go, no matter how many times Trump tells them to drop it. What's truly insane is that MAGA seems to be totally clueless to the fact that the reason Trump wants it all to just go away is because he's afraid he's on the list. How will the conservatives resolve this one? I'm Ron Reader, and this has been Ron Reader Digs the Universe. Join me, Ron Reader, again next week for another episode of Ron Reader Digs the Universe.